Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a really exciting video today. I'm so excited to film this one. It's my April music favourites. As usual, I do my music favourites every month, but this one's going to be a little bit different because it's all upcoming and smaller bands that you may not have heard of that I've been loving lately. So to start us off, there's a band that I've been loving called Highlives. I've absolutely been obsessing over this band quite a lot now. I've been listening to them for, I'd say, a good 2 or 3 months now, but they've only just made it into this video because I wanted to put all the new upcoming bands that I've been listening to into one video so that you guys could go and listen to them all at once. So Highlives are this fantastic band. Their latest album is I'm Not Giving Up, I'm Just Starting Over, and a couple of the songs that I love off that is Realisation and Yet to Be Told. I absolutely love the song Realisation. It's kind of done like this answer phone or like an answer machine message, which I thought was a really interesting concept for a song. It's really, really cool. And Yet to Be Told is just one of your classic pop punk songs that I've just absolutely been loving. They're so up my street. I really, really like them. They're very classic pop punk. They have really, I love their drums. Like, their drums really stand out to me when I'm listening to their songs. They have a fantastic song structure. Like, the way they put a song together is really, really good. I love their choruses. They're super catchy and just a little bit different to what I'm used to, yet still familiar enough that I can relate to it. And they are touring with Calling All Captains and Chief State. I think the tour is coming up pretty soon, so you should be able to get tickets soon. There's a long, long list of guest supporters, like opening bands and stuff, and Highlives is one of them. There's a couple of other bands on my list that are also on that tour, but it depends what gig you go to as to what guest you get. So Calling All Captains and Chief State are the headliners, and then it depends what gig you go to with what guest band that you get, but I know that Highlives are on the bill for that. I urge you to go give them a listen. I think they're absolutely brilliant. Up next is a band that sounds kind of similar. This is Highlives. They have 3 EPs out, but the most recent one is Misguided Youth, that consists of 5 songs. The songs I've been loving are 22, which is it's not such an angry song that I'm used to listening to. It's a bit of a calmer song, and it's a great song about like becoming, well, I interpret it as becoming 22 and just sort of living life and seeing where it takes you rather than planning so much and stuff like that. And another song I really like is Wake Me Up. The things I love about this band are their vocals. I think the vocals are fantastic, and they're kind of like Boston Manor, so again, slightly familiar for me, but different enough to be worth listening to. Like, they're not a samey band, they're not the same as everybody else. They're familiar, they're like Boston Manor, but they're not Boston Manor, and that's enough for me to want to listen to them over and over again. The next band I've been loving is a band called Where There's Life. I cannot tell you the feeling that I had when I first listened to one of their songs. I was blown away. Like, they were so amazing. I was really kind of hooked from the first song. Their most recent album is self-titled and it consists of 5 songs. The 2 that I absolutely love are Lego and Where We Go. The first time I listened to Where We Go, I was just blown away. Like, honestly, I remember I was in the car and we were on the way to this like house and garden thing for my mum's Mother's Day gift, and I was listening to this song and it was like classic pop punk, like what I love anyway. It was right up my street. I remember thinking, oh my god, this song's fantastic. And then there was like a little bit of scream in there, and I was like, whoa, now we're talking. Like, it had everything that I love in a song in it, and I was just so like blown away by it. They're kind of like A Day to Remember's pop punky stuff, so where it's quite pop punk and then they'll have a bit of scream in the background. It's kind of like that rather than A Day to Remember's like all screamy stuff. And I just love the mix between the pop punk and the screaming, because those are kind of like the 2 things I look for in a song, but I love it when it's mixed together, and Where There's Life just do it so well, and I've kind of just had that EP on repeat. The next band I wanted to talk about is You Know the Drill. They are fantastic. I keep seeing loads of stuff about them recently actually, so I think they're doing pretty well for themselves. Their latest EP, Losing Streak, consists of 5 songs, and my 2 favourite is Peer Pressure and Heads Up. I'm absolutely obsessed with those, especially Peer Pressure. Like, the guitar in that song is just fantastic. I'm obsessed with it. They're kind of like a cross between Rome and Waster, so if you're into those bands, I think you're going to love these guys. There's just something unique about the vocals in their songs. They're really, really good, and I just love the guitar in it. Everything really comes together in their songs, and I just think it's very well put together and just easy to listen to and really catchy. And I think they are going on tour soon. I remember seeing something about that, or something was coming out in the next couple of months, so go check them out because I think they're one to watch. The next band I wanted to talk about is a band that I've been obsessing over for quite some time now, and I've actually been so excited to talk about them in a video, and I've finally got round to doing it. This band is called Victory Lane. I've absolutely been obsessed with their songs. I couldn't find like an album or EP for them. They've just like released singles as far as I'm aware when I was looking on their Spotify, but I have all of their songs downloaded on my Spotify playlist. I'm obsessed. So my favourites are 1995, Adios, and If Not Now, When. Those songs are just fantastic. Like, especially 1995, I belt that one out. I know all the words to it. And the other day I was singing Adios in my room at like the top of my lungs. My neighbours must have been so pissed off with me, but I'm just absolutely obsessed with them. They're such a fantastic band. They are going on tour with Calling All Captains and Chief State as well. And I think they're only doing I want to say the last 3 dates, something like that. Go check out the Facebook event if you want to find out who's playing who on what dates. But I'm so excited for them because I think they've got a lot coming this year, and I'm hoping they'll do a tour that I can actually make it to, and I'm hoping that they'll release some new music. I know that they've got some in the pipeline, so I'm pretty excited about that. I could kind of compare them to sort of, they're less classic pop punk, more Mallory Knox, Lower Than Atlantis kind of deal, but with a pop punk mix. So it's really interesting. Like, I really, really love it. I do like Mallory Knox and Lower Than Atlantis, but I normally sway more to like The Story So Far and stuff like that. But these are a really interesting mix, and that's what I love about them, because I don't like, just the way they bring it all together is just really interesting, and I just love listening to it. And yeah, they've just got so much to look forward to this year, so definitely one to keep an eye on. The next band I wanted to talk about is probably my new favourite band. It's taken me a little while for the last couple of months to really get into a band to the point where I was with Boston Manor. Like, you guys know I was obsessed, and still am obsessed, with Boston Manor, and they very quickly became one of my favourite bands of all time. I'd probably say like almost second to Enter Shikari. Like, Enter Shikari will always have a very special place in my heart, but these guys just knocked it off the top. Like, Boston Manor just blew me away, and since then I haven't had a band that's completely like knocked everyone else out the water until I listened to Catch Fire. These guys are insanely good. I don't know if you can see in the background, but I have their record on vinyl. That will be in an upcoming vinyl haul, don't worry, I'll go more into depth about that then. But oh my god, like, I'm just obsessed, honestly. Their new album, A Love That I Still Miss, absolutely blew me away. It is phenomenal. It's pure gold. Like, if you like, just go and listen to it. It's absolutely amazing. I haven't heard anything like that in a long, long while. That really just blew everything else out the water. Like, this band is just phenomenal. My favourite songs are Reality, Thin Ice and Sylvester. And I cannot explain to you, like, they are very similar to Boston Manor, but there's something different about them. Their instrumentals are just insanely good. Their vocals are amazing. I wouldn't say some bits are like screamy, but not proper scream. It's like, oh, I don't know how to explain. It's just so raw and like emotional, and you really feel the music. it just touched me, and it was just really fantastic. The riffs are insane. Those guitar riffs blow me away every time. The vocals, the drums, it all comes together to create something really fantastic. And they are going on tour in July. I was really hoping that they'd do a London date, but unfortunately they're not. The closest one to me is going to be Bournemouth, and I'm trying to convince myself that it's worth the 2-hour drive, but I just don't know where I would stay after the show. So I'm kind of thinking about going, but it's kind of far, but they're worth going that way for, so I really want to go. So their tour's in July. They recently released that album on vinyl, and they did 20 rares, 80, well 80 is still rare, and then I think 200 like different colour variants. So they went down a treat. Like, I think they've pretty much sold all of them now, but there might still be some left, so go check them out because it's so worth getting. And yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just obsessed with this band. The next band I wanted to give a shout out to is These Minds. I've been listening to these guys for quite some time now, but again, I wanted to wait until I did a video on like lesser known bands so that I could put them in here. Their albums Pour Out consist of 5 songs, and they have another one called Figure Out, which consists of 4 songs. And my favourite songs are Ruin and Pour Out. These guys are kind of like the vocals of the story so far mixed with Trophy Eyes. They're very similar to Trophy Eyes. If you like Trophy Eyes, I think that you will love these guys. Their vocals are just spot on for me. It's everything I look for in a song, and just, I think it's fantastic. But they should be, I think they're touring soon. I know, I can't think who it is with, but they're going on tour soon. So go check them out on Facebook because it will have all the information on there. But yeah, These Minds, just awesome. Go check them out. The next band I wanted to give a shout out to is Grayscale. They've recently released a new song called Atlantic, and their latest album is What We're Missing. I absolutely love this song Atlantic. I've really like been a little bit, I've had it on repeat so much. It's been fantastic. The vocals and the lyrics are just really, really catchy, and I really, really like it. And they're going on tour with As It Is. So if you've got tickets to go see As It Is, I think Grayscale are supporting. And their latest album Adornment is out the 5th of May, so that's coming out pretty soon. Taking a little break now from the new and upcoming bands, I thought I'd go to a band that I've known for years and years and absolutely love, and that's Alt J. They've released a new song called In Cold Blood, and I kind of just wanted to give it a shout out because I've been listening to it a lot lately and I really like it. It's just classic Alt J, nothing too different from their older stuff, but again, a great song because they can't really make a bad song. And I've just really been enjoying it, so I wanted to give it a little bit of a shout out. The next band I want to talk about is a band called Homewrecked. Again, another band I've been absolutely loving this past month. They have an album out called When It All Goes Wrong. This has 5 songs on it, and my favourite are Ready, Set, Go, Anxious Minds Think Alike. The instrumental in Anxious Minds Think Alike is absolutely phenomenal. I just love it. It's just such a good breakdown. It's really, really cool. And they are going on tour with Better Than Never, so if you listen to those guys, or if you've got tickets to that tour, then you'll be seeing these guys too. I love their choruses. They're just so catchy, and they're kind of like those songs that you want to put on repeat straight after you finish listening to it because you want to just hear it again. It's that good. And they are also going on the Calling All Captains and Chief State tour as well. Next up is a band you may not have heard of. It's called Priest Pilots. I've really been enjoying their music. Their album is called Remember Me With Favour, and it has 4 songs on it. And my favourite song of that is 45. It's a really catchy song, absolutely classic pop punk. Just really been enjoying it. It's a little bit different. Some of the guitar is a little bit more metal than pop punk, but the kind of general idea is that it's pop punk, but it's just a little bit different. It has something in there that's a little bit unique, and that's what I've really been liking about them. And like I said, like the guitar's a little bit metal rather than your classic pop punk riffs, and I think that's what makes it stand out. So give them a listen if you haven't already. The next band I wanted to talk about is called Outtapeak. I've really been enjoying these guys. They're a little bit different to all the other bands I've spoken about in this video. They're a little bit more pop punk metal mix again. A little bit, I feel like if you like Bring Me the Horizon, you're going to love these guys. They're kind of that end of the spectrum. They're a little bit more metal, but Really been enjoying them, really interesting songs. Their new album Love Proof is out now and it contains 16 songs, and my favourite off that is Dear Christy and All in My Head. I've really been loving All in My Head. That song is fantastic. And it has really quick drums and it's just a little bit different to all the other bands. It's kind of like what I was listening to this time last year when I was in my Beartooth phase, but just something a little bit different. I thought I'd throw them in here because I've really been enjoying them. And the last band I wanted to talk about is a band called Alorion. They're very much like Beartooth, Bring Me the Horizon, a little bit like Asking Alexandria. So if you're more into that kind of side of rock, then you're going to love these guys. I really have been enjoying their music. They have an album out called Between Calm and Chaos, which consists of 4 songs. And my favourite off that is Rescuer. There's like little bits of spoken word in there, so they're kind of like La Dispute in that way. But mainly they're more of like a Bring Me, Asking Alexandria vibe, and I've just really been enjoying listening to them. They're a little bit more metal again, a little bit more new metal, I guess. Just a really interesting mix, and I like the spoken word in the song as well. Like, just adds a little something else, and I've just really been enjoying them. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I wanted to quickly just mention how fantastic Washed Out Fest was. If you haven't seen it already, I did a vlog of it, so go and check that out. It was absolutely fantastic, and I'll definitely be trying to go next year as well. And I also wanted to say that I went to the Real Friends gig in London and it was amazing, and I was very lucky to be there with some awesome people as well. And their support was Can't Swim and Microwave, and literally they just blew me away. I mean, I already knew who they were, mentioned them in previous music favourites videos. I've absolutely been loving Can't Swim and Microwave, and to be able to see those 3 bands together on stage was really something quite special. Like, all of them are so talented. Like, seeing Can't Swim live especially, I feel is like a real experience. Like, their stage presence is just unbelievable, like insanely good. And Microwave really surprised me actually with, like, I had only listened to a couple of their songs, but all their other songs were really different to what I was expecting, but in a good way. I just really enjoyed the show. It was absolutely fantastic. So if you were there, let me know, because it was absolutely brilliant. Or if you went to any of the other Real Friends gigs, let me know. A quick shout out to the new Paramore song. I'm not a fan. I know some people really like it. To me, I get that they're moving on and they're not really a rock band anymore. I get it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I almost feel like they need to rebrand themselves or rename the band, because it's not Paramore anymore in my eyes. And I know that's a bit mean maybe, but come on, this song is just pure pop. Like, there is nothing rock about it, and I have no problem with them completely changing genre. I mean, I do a little bit because I'm gutted that there's like no such thing as Paramore anymore, really. And I love Hayley's vocals on the song, and it's not that the song's bad, it's just not Paramore anymore. And I feel like they just, I don't know whether they should rename the band. Maybe I'm going a bit too far with that, but I feel like it's just not Paramore anymore. So just kind of say that you're something completely different, because you are. Like, I don't know, maybe it hurts me to say that, because Paramore were like probably the first rock band I ever listened to. And I mean, that band got me through some crap. Like, in my teenage years, that band got me through everything, and it's just, it makes me a little bit sad because they're just not who they used to be. And I get that people change, and I get that their tastes have changed and they want to do something different with it, but I mean, that is just completely off the spectrum, really. I kind of was expecting it to be like that, because their last album, the self-titled album, did not float with me whatsoever. I was quite upset about it. I guess it's just, they've changed, and that's fine, but I wasn't ready. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was While She Sleeps' new album. What's it called? You Are We. I know I think I mentioned Silence Speaks in one of my music favourites videos that features Ollie Sykes from Bring Me. I've got big hopes for this album. So far I've heard it and it sounds fantastic. If you've heard it, I know loads of people love it and are getting quite obsessed about it. So I think they've done really well for themselves. It's a fantastic album, and I just wanted to give it a little shout out because I feel like it needed it. Okay guys, that really is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to do something a little bit different this month and mention some newer bands that I've been listening to. As always, I've made it super easy for you, and if you go over to my Spotify, search Rachel Hatley, I'll put a link in the down bar below. I've made an April favourites playlist, so you can go and listen to every band and all the songs I talked about and a couple of bonus ones, so you can actually get an idea of what I was talking about the last 10 minutes. So go do that because it's fantastic. And if you listen, I listened to the whole playlist this morning, and honestly, all those songs in a row is just something else. It's really fantastic, so go give it a listen. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and follow me on Twitter for updates and stuff about what I'm up to. And give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Have a good week. Bye.